Ciao, my friends. In today's video, we're going to make sweet Easter bread, but I'm going to give it a little twist this year. So before you start any bread, you want to weigh out all of your ingredients. So here I have my 500 grams of bread flour. I have 235 grams of milk, what equates to a cup of milk. I have 2 large eggs, 100 grams of granulated sugar, 10 grams of salt. I have my orange ready to zest, and 6 tablespoons of butter at room temperature. And also I have dyed my eggs in advance so that they're dry and ready to go. And I actually do it really easy. I don't buy those kits that you use for dyeing eggs. I use food dye, 3 parts vinegar, 1 part water. I put them in different glasses for the different colors, and then I let them sit for like 20 minutes, take them out, and place them on a paper towel. And look how bright those colors are. And it makes the bread so festive, so pretty. So I did do that in advance. All right, so before we start putting our ingredients together, you need to proof your yeast. I always use active dry yeast. I don't use instant yeast. Instant yeast, you don't have to proof. You just put it in with the dry ingredients and then add in all your wet ingredients. And the measurement is a little different with instant yeast. So it's about a 1/4 teaspoon less than active dry yeast. Okay, so here I have a cup of warm milk. I heat it up in the microwave, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of, which is about 6 grams of active dry yeast. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of sugar to feed the yeast. All right, so I'm going to set this aside while we put together all of the other ingredients. So I have my stand mixer bowl here. I'm going to add in my 500 grams of bread flour. I'm using bread flour because it gives a better texture to the bread, but you can also use all-purpose flour. That works well. So if you don't have bread flour, don't panic. You could use all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add my salt, because even though this is a sweet bread, you still need salt. And my sugar. All right, so I'm going to zest an entire orange, and this thing, I think I ended up having Amazon sell it out because so many people asked for the link that now when you click on it, it says currently unavailable. So I apologize for that, but this thing is amazing. All right, so now that I have the zest, the sugar, the salt, and the flour, I'm just going to mix those ingredients together in the bowl. So now I'm going to add my eggs. It's 2 large eggs. And at this point, the yeast is already foamy. It's only been a few minutes, so we're ready to add that in as well. So I'm in love with this extract. You saw me use it in the Colomba, the Fiori di Sicilia Extract from King Arthur. So I'm going to add that into this bread. It's an amazing scent, and it just gives you that citrus floral scent that you want in a sweet bread. To me, that smells like Easter. So let's add in about a teaspoon. Let's do two teaspoons for this bread. Into the KitchenAid mixer, I'm using the dough hook attachment, and I'm just going to start off slow and then just wait for the dough to come together. And then at that point, once it comes together, we'll start adding in our butter a little at a time. The dough is coming together. It's pulling away from the sides of the bowl. So now it's time for me to add my unsalted butter, 1 tablespoon at a time. So now that I've added all the butter, I'm just going to let this mix until it releases from the sides of the bowl for the most part. It's going to stick at the bottom, but you want it on the sides to be detached. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. All right, so that took a few minutes, and I'm just going to scrape the sides of the bowl. You have a nice sticky dough in there, and it's okay if it's sticky. Just going to clean off the sides, and I'm going to cover this and let it rise for 2 hours until it doubles in size. an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the temperature in your house. It's been about an hour and a half and it has doubled. So we are ready to go to the shaping step and the little twist I gave it this year. So I'm going to punch it down. This is a really sticky dough, so we're going to flour the surface so it's easier to handle. All right, so I'm just going to flour the countertop. Scrape it out of the bowl. Just form it into a ball. We're going to make 4 pieces out of this. I'm going to weigh this and divide that into 4 so I have 4 equal pieces. So I'm going to weigh each piece. Each piece should be about 260 grams. All right, so I'm going to take each piece and sort of shape it into a ball, just like this. All right. So each one of these balls I'm going to cut in half. Just like that. Let's put this piece to the side. So I just want to give you a different angle of what I'm doing here. I'm going to flatten this out. You don't want too much flour. You really want this to stick because then it's easier to roll out. Want to get it roughly 12 by 4. Doesn't have to be exact. You can straighten it out with your hands. Okay. So that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pastry cream recipe that I posted the other day, and I'm going to pipe my pastry cream right in the center, and I'm going to fold it over, and I'll show you a different angle so you could see what I'm doing. And you want to make sure this is completely sealed on both sides. And so when you bake it, the pastry cream in there will create this almost Danish-like consistency, and it's delicious. Now we're going to pipe pastry cream in the center, not all the way to the edges. You want to be able to seal that edge. Pull it over. Seal the edges all the way around. Then you want to roll it just to make it a little longer. Make sure those edges don't open. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to take these 2 pieces And we're going to twist them together, just like that. And then bring them together as much as you can, right here. And then I'm going to take the egg that I dyed and just sit it right on top. All right, so I showed you how to form that. I'm going to do the same thing for 3 more of those. That's 4. 3 more of those. And I've placed this on a parchment-lined baking sheet, and I'm going to continue to do that. I'll show you when I'm done. All right, my friends, I'm done forming them. Look how beautiful they are. All right, so now I'm going to cover them with a damp kitchen towel. I usually put the kitchen towel on top, and then I use a spray bottle to just make it a little moist so that the breads don't form a skin. I'm going to turn the oven on to 350, and I'm going to let them rise while the oven is heating up. My oven takes about a half hour, so 30 minutes. You're going to give them a second rise so they really blow up in the oven and they look so beautiful. So I'll show you the next step once they're risen. It's been about 40 minutes, so now we're going to go to the next step, which is to give it an egg wash and sprinkles. So they're nice and puffy. You don't want them to puff up too much because then they'll really blow up in the oven. Just want them to get a little puffy. And now I'm going to give them some egg wash. And this will do 2 things. It will allow them to get golden in the oven, and it allows the sprinkles to stick. All right, now it's time for my Easter colored sprinkles. These are a little more pastel. So these are going to go in the oven. I'm going to say about 30 to 35 minutes until they're golden brown, and the oven temperature is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And one thing that someone always asks me when I make this bread, are the eggs raw? They are. These are not boiled eggs. They're going to cook in the oven with the bread. Are they overcooked? Sure. Some people, I've seen a chef give advice that he freezes his eggs and then puts them on the bread so that as they defrost and then cook in the oven, they're not overcooked. But to me, I just do it raw. And then if they're overcooked, I eat them anyway. It's fine. I'll make an egg salad out of them. So these are raw. These are not boiled eggs. All right, my friends, they are out of the oven. They're so beautiful. I got a little trigger happy with that pastry cream on 2 of them. Kind of oozed out a little bit, but no worries. So I'm going to let these cool for a few minutes before I cut them open and show you what they look like on the inside. As far as the smell, they smell amazing. You can smell the orange. You can smell that extract, the Fiori di Sicilia Extract, and I cannot wait to take a bite. All right, let's dig into this thing because it smells so good. So I'm just going to tear it open. Let's just see. Look at that. Look at the custard. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. The custard in there. Oh my God. I mean, the sacrifices I make for you guys, I'm going to try it. I know, this is a horrible job, but somebody has to do it. Shut up. Shut up. Stop it. Look at the flakiness of this bread, along with the creamy of the pastry cream. This is a winner. So I hope you enjoyed my little twist on my sweet Easter bread. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my recipes. Until the next time, ciao, my friends.